Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we're discussing a model that launched in 2017, 1 year after the Generation 3 Overseas bout. Vacheron Constantin gave us the Dual Time. So this is the Overseas Dual Time. It has a gloss blue dial, a 41mm stainless steel case, and it measures 13.2 millimeters thick, and from lug to lug, 49 millimeters is the size. So the watch uses a proprietary junction for its bracelet and strap, and we'll talk about those in just a moment. But first, let's get a look at it on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference. It's a large watch, I'm not going to lie. Across the wrist, it has the impression of something that might even be as big as 43 millimeters, and the tonneau case certainly accentuates the size. That said, it's fairly flat, and you can see with its sloped bezel, it should slide underneath most cuffs. Now, the watch is probably appropriate for a wrist of 15 centimeters circumference or larger, and one of the reasons for that is the fact that the bracelet, unlike the Generation 2, the bracelet can't pull straight down. There's a little bit of extra width added on each side. In fact, if you measure the distance between these outer links at their lowermost pivot, that's actually 57 millimeters right there, so this is a broad watch. That said, everything that touches the wrist is of the highest quality. Let's take a look at this bracelet. You can see it features a little center spline in the shape of the Maltese cross. You can see that well on the dial. That is the icon of Vacheron, the corporate logo. You can see it on the crown. You can see it in the shape of the bezel. You could see it on the dial. You can even see it in the slash-cut knurling of the crowns, and you could see it in the center spline of the links of the bracelet. Now, the bracelet uses a quick-release system that makes it a cinch to remove from the case. I'll demonstrate that here. A little pull tab. The watch comes with this bracelet. It also comes with a blue leather and rubber strap. It comes with one of each, blue leather, blue rubber, and a separate steel deploying clasp to use with the straps. Now I'm going to demonstrate a little bit more with this bracelet here. You can see the intricacy of the finishing, all of it done manually, the polishing, the beveling, the satination, but there's more. Every single link, and that on both sides, removable, so you can fine-tune the size. You can also see that on each side of the bracelet there's a little 1.5 millimeter quick adjustment built in, so you get two of those for a total of 3 millimeters of adjustment, and it's very easy to use. You can also see that the watch has a double deployant clasp, and if you look carefully you can see internally it's olive high polish, little Maltese cross, and then you close it, big Maltese cross. Okay, the watch. Let's talk about it. It's a gorgeous piece. It is a complex form. As you can see, a combination of polished and satinated surfaces that are crisply broken out from each other for contrast. We have here screw-down crowns because this watch is 150 meters water resistant. Thanks to use of a paramagnetic ring around the movement, it maintains the 25,000 ampere per meter anti-magnetism of the previous Generation Overseas, but with the benefit of a display case back, and you'll want that because the Gen 3 Overseas is the first to have in-house movements. Now you see there's a little plinth underneath the bezel, so the plinth is actually satinated on its top, polished on its outer face. You can see the bezel is polished externally, and it has vertical satination within its recesses. The dial is a gloss lacquered blue, very similar to an Vacheron Chronomètre bleu. It looks like a metallic sunburst blue when you see it online. When you see it here, it really does look like a translucent, rich lacquer, almost enamel. It's very different from how it appears online. You have white gold indices, logo, and hands to resist oxidation and tarnish over time. Let's do a loom shot. As you can see, the watch is well loomed. It is a sports watch after all. Now the dial includes a pointer style date, 2 hour hands that can be set independently, and then we have this AM/PM indicator that is synced to the reference hour hand. Now I can set everything in sync, and I can actually keep that secondary hour hand semi-buried under the local hour hand. If I don't need to see it, I can clean up the dial. Now watch as we cross 12 here. Crossing 12, you can see that the indicator for AM and PM for the second time zone, it crosses as we cross through noon, and now it indicates PM. And so what I can do here is I can actually put the crown in its intermediate position. Now I can set that local time. And you can see I could jump the date, setting the local time forward or backwards. I could set that local time as I travel. It doesn't affect the reference time. As you can see, the reference time is not loomed, so you're going to need light in the airline cabin to see what the time is. Now let's say you want to change the date. Well, this is easy to do. You have a little push adjuster that allows you to rapidly toggle the dates. You can set the local time and the date independently, and of course this screws down just like the crown. Turning the watch over, we have Vacheron caliber 5 110DT for dual time. Both the watch and the movement feature the Poinçon de Genève, the Geneva hallmark, which is an attestation regarding the overall quality and chronometric qualities, in addition to aesthetic qualities, of the movement. But since mid-2012, it has been a full watch standard, not just a movement standard. That's why you see it on the case as well. The rotor is 22 karat gold, not 21, not 18, not tungsten, and it features 4 different types of finishes. It is hand engraved, and it is a compass rose design. You can also see that the movement itself is large. It's broad, it's properly sized for this case. So this movement was designed with these watches in mind. It's not just a JLC movement cased up in an oversized watch as the previous generation Overseas was. This was made for this vessel. Now it's a automatic winder. It features ceramic rotor bearings. It has a 60-hour power reserve, and it has the dual time capability. It pivots on 37 joules. It beats away at 8 beats per second. And again, it is 150 meters water resistant, 25,000 ampere anti-magnetic. And in addition to being anti-magnetic, it is beautiful. As you can see, we have chiseling. We have a media blasted satination, we have a brushed satination, and then polishing along with beveling on the rotor. You can see Côte de Genève on the bridges, mirrored anglage on the bridges. You could see that some of the locating posts used to locate the bridges on the base plate, they're actually black polished on their top, so you can see that's been finished as well. The jewel sinks and the screw sinks have all been polished. There's engine turning on the base plate. You could see that there's satination on the wheels. The screw heads are polished, but their slots and their circumference are also chamfered, so there's a lot of fine finishing going on here, and you will be at a loss to capture all of it with the naked eye. So if you buy this watch, also buy a loop. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.